Facebook family and friends, what's going on? See that I'm moving slow on this hump day Wednesday. I'm telling you,
All
I
right.
am
That's all
moving
right.
slow. But we are in the building for another Wellness Wednesday because your mental health matters. A healthy you is definitely a better you. So blessed to have my brother, my compadre, my friend over there at Alcorn State University,
What's
none
going
other
on?
than Edward J. Brown in the building. What's up, my man?
What's up, brother? What's going on with you, man?
Hey man, it is what it is, what it is. We're in the building. So tell a friend to tell a friend, log in as we get into the conversation about your mental health and mental health issues and who you need to call when you got mental health problems. Because we are here not only to talk about it, but to give you directions that you can go to get help and have individuals who can listen to you and maybe give you some real good help in whatever situation you're in. Brother Brown, the flow is
What's going
yours.
man? What's going on? Good evening, everybody. Hey, listen, man, we did not, or I did not, take the time out on the first Wednesday of this month. This is actually social work month.
Okay.
And today I got it. Well, last week I had one too, but my shirt today says end the stigma, mental health matters. And I'm gonna try every Wednesday to try to celebrate a field, a industry that is near and dear to my heart. It is the reason I am the individual I am today. So I want to say today we're going to talk about something, Brother Dupree, that I think everybody needs to be aware of. We talked about when you and I put our heads together and we decided we wanted to do this Wellness Wednesday, that we were going to give information that people could use that would help them with their mental health,
Correct.
help make them more rounded, and or give them coping skills to deal with certain situations.
Mm-hmm.
Well, something reared its head to me the past few weeks, and I've been wanting to talk about it, but I've been remiss. Things have been coming up, and that is how do you cope with criticism?
Mm.
How do we deal and how do we cope with opinions of us, feedback about us? See, because sometimes you have to know the difference between a hater and somebody that's giving you criticism to better yourself.
Mm.
See, you got to be able to know the difference.
Mm.
So today, I would like for us to jump into how do we deal with the uncertainty of, are you a hater trying to tear me down, or are you someone who truly is giving me criticism that should make me or help me become a better person?
Constructive criticism, that is.
Constructive criticism, how do you know the difference? So we could sit here and we could give this long, drawn out theoretical approach to identifying when someone is trying to tear you down. We can give in depth theoretical information on how to identify constructive criticism. But here it is in a nutshell, and we can pick up on it and we can break it down later.
Okay.
If the person's criticism, okay, is this simple. If the person's criticism is malicious in its intent, that ain't constructive criticism.
Mm.
If it is intended to be ugly, it is intended to be hurtful, it's not constructive criticism. That is a hater.
Mm.
That is someone that is taking shots to make you feel a certain way.
And we got a two-step on our haters.
And we got a two-step on. Because here's the way I dealt with it. Being a kid, and I ain't that different today with my addiction to junk food. I love cookies and cupcakes and all kinds of stuff. And I had uncles, 7 uncles. And when I tell you them jokers didn't pull no punches, they called me everything from the rooter to the tutor. Now, here's the interesting thing. Even as a child, I knew my uncle's intent wasn't malicious. They were just some jokers. That's what they were.
Right.
But when I went outside in the streets of New Orleans, and folks would say things, and we would do, as we called it, play the dozens, or or rib each other. Some places say joning or something like that.
Right. Right.
It was malicious in intent. It was intended to get as much laughter, or if they really want to score a home run, make you cry.
Right.
So we were able to identify, I was able to identify the two. But boy, do things get a little bit more complicated when you get older.
Correct.
Now, let me show you what I'm talking about. Brother Dupree, we about to really get into this tonight.
All right. Come on.
Let's talk about people and what we call it in the therapeutic realm, and you've maybe heard the term before, is passive aggressive.
Come on.
See, and the way people have a tendency to hide malicious intent is in humor. They say things and then they follow it up with a chuckle, or I'm just kidding. No, you're not. No, you're not. We know, or we should be able to identify when people are talking with malicious intent. Here's one way to determine. Brother Dupree, we've all, as men, we walked around and we had our zipper undone.
Correct.
You know how you have those people who will give you that little sign, like,
Right.
very
check yourself.
Check yourself. But then they got those ones that, you come out the bathroom with your pants unzipped. Was that absolutely necessary?
Right.
Or if you got something on your mouth, you eat the sandwich or whatever it may be, you can say subtly, hey man, you got something on your face, without everybody in the room knowing. So the delivery is the first way you determine whether something is constructive or if it's malicious. The delivery. 2, we have a way of saying things with tact and some things that's very tasteless. So that's terminology. If I wanted to say, like, for example, we talking about, my grandfather used to say, the stable is open. That's what he would say. And we knew that meant one of our zippers was down.
Right.
It was the terminology, the term he used. Nowadays, I laugh because when people say, oh man, I'm fat, it's a new one out now, Brother Dupree. They say you're fluffy. So it's like it's a little bit more acceptable. It's a little bit nicer. It doesn't hit quite as hard as you fat. We fluffy. So now we have gotten into a society where delivery, terminology determines whether or not you are truly what you say you are.
Right.
If you saw me and I was just looking to shovel, I'm sure you're not going to scream from across the room, man, what's wrong with you? Boy, you looking bad. What are you going to say? Yo, man, let me talk to you for a second over here.
Right. Pull you to the side.
Let
me holler at you. Let me holler at you.
A minute. You all right? What you mean, man? I ain't never seen you looking like this. You good?
Right.
That lets me know there is no malicious intent in what you're saying. A hater or someone with malicious intent, more times than not always, wants their intent to be known as malicious.
Correct.
So they're not going to do it.
Because what they're trying to do is publicly shame you. They're trying to bring attention to you, and most of the time they're trying to bring attention to you to take attention off of themselves.
Exactly. We're getting to that too. So that you're right. They'll say, well, listen, I want as many people as possible to be aware of what I'm trying to say. That is why Bullying, cyberbullying, is so crucial right now. It is not what is being said, it's how many people what's being said reaches. We talked about in one of the other shows. If Brother Dupree, you call me ugly right now, it ain't but me and you in the room. But it's different if there is 500,000 people that get to see that.
Correct.
So we're here tonight to talk about how do you know the difference between a hater and someone that's giving you constructive criticism. And the first way we do is you have to look at the intent. Is the intent malicious? Then that ain't no constructive criticism.
Correct. Are they trying to expose you, or are they trying to
Right.
are
See,
they
because
trying to
again,
are they trying to put you in a better place?
correct. That's the, like we say, the first one is intent. The
Okay.
second one is terminology. There's a better way to say almost everything.
Correct.
You know, so then when you start looking at the terminology, you have to look at the situation. So we have intent, terminology, and then we have the situation. We are sitting here, and again, like I said, if we're in a room full of people, I would question your motive, your intent. If you stood up on the chair and said, "Hey, look at Ed, and he got that dirty shirt on."
Correct. Correct. Because that's not necessary. That's not necessary to put you on blast like that.
So we have to ask ourselves, and this is where we're going to go the second half of this hour. What do you do about it?
Wow.
See, that's the second half of the hour. What do we do? But before we can move on to what do you do, we have to look at, do we truly understand? I'll give you a perfect example. We have a tendency to, and as I write about it, do what I consider cripple our children. We make them have expectations that are not realistic. Here we go. You can leave today and go to the Biddy Ball League. On awards day, Brother Dupree, you ain't gonna be able to tell the difference from the trophy of the team that was 10-0 from the team that's 0-10.
Correct. Correct.
They all gonna get the same trophy.
Correct.
Because I don't want the children who are 0-10 to feel bad. But what about the children who are 10-0 and how they feel?
Correct.
So now those children grow up and they're getting things that they have not earned. And lo and behold, they go into the workplace. And people like us have to deal with them in the workplace. This is what I mean. I got a lady that's with me 20-some years. And I got a lady that ain't been with me 20 days. Should this woman that's been with me 20 days have the same prestige and acclaim? You notice we're not talking about money yet.
Okay.
We're talking about prestige and acclaim, which means if someone calls to ask information about the business, who should answer the call? 20 years or 20 days? You understand?
Right.
But we have people coming in, and that's what they think.
They believe that I need to have the instantaneous respect of an individual who's been working here 20 years. I haven't put in half the work, but I want all the respect.
Exactly. So are we not dealing with that? Are we not dealing with that in today's society? Because you have people who do not understand how to accept criticism as an opportunity for self-growth.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'll give you a perfect example. I go to the gym every day. And I'm beginning to see the results of me working out. There was a young brother, half my age. And he's always in the gym. And finally one day he came up to me and he said, "Yo, man, you be getting it in." You know, I said, "Yeah." I said, "But I don't look like that." And that young brother didn't say, Well, you an old man. That's why you don't look like this. You know what he said? Have you checked your diet?
Right, right.
You
He, he
know,
he gave you something constructive to say
exactly.
you could look like that, and there may be something that you're doing that you can correct to get yourself to look like that.
Mhm.
I'm going to say this, and I want to let everybody know on the screen right now, in case you're out there saying, okay, why do they do this Wellness Wednesday? Why do they do this podcast? Because we understand that a lot of folks don't know where to go when they have mental health issues. They don't understand that. They don't know where to go when they have counseling issues, when they need to talk to somebody. So the website that is on the screen right now, positivechoicescounseling.org, is a place you can go find out much information about counseling, mental health services, because guess what? Everybody needs somebody to talk to in some point in their life. And one of the things we don't like to talk about, but the statistics are real and they are very high, is that suicide amongst people of color is at an all-time high. With the pandemic, the war going on, and everything else, high gas prices,
Price of
the cost,
gas.
the
Sure.
cost of living, and everything else going on, people are struggling mentally. But you
Absolutely.
do have a place you can go and you can get some help. Now, also want to tell y'all this. Listen, go to 100BLK, the 100BLK. It's up there. You can see some of our prior podcasts and see some of the podcasts that we have out there. It has a lot of great information. Also, you can click in and check some of the great sponsors of the 100BLK, like the Essence Music Festival, which is making its way back to New Orleans this
Oh yeah.
July. You'll see a banner you can click on and find out everything Essence, and my good friends at Burger Time. And anybody who's in Louisiana, especially Lafayette, Louisiana, know they are the home of the Cajun Blaze. So without any further ado, we're going to take it right back to more conversation. And the phone lines are open, 917-408-3773. If you want to call in, you can put a comment in the comment box and we'll try to answer any and all your questions. We are here because your mental health matters, and a healthy you is a
It's a
better
better
you.
you. That's
My
right.
brother,
Man,
Dr.
listen.
Come on, Edward, do your
I
thing.
think I think I think we really have to continue to explore this, man, because we have people who avoid interaction because they don't want folks to say nothing to them.
Right.
We have folks that when they leave certain interactions, their anxiety level is through the roof. So when we start talking about the difference between constructive criticism and someone saying something that is hurtful, it starts with intent. It's the second step is we have to look at the terminology that's used.
Right.
You know, again, like we said, are you fat or are you fluffy?
Correct.
As my grandfather would say, six in one hand, half dozen in the other. Doesn't
Right.
matter.
Right.
So we have to look at terminology, and then you have to look at situations. I have a relationship with my kids where when we were in public and I was in the middle of something, they would always tell each other, well, he's talking right now. He'll get to us. We'll be able to ask him, but he's talking right now. The situation is not always right. The situation determines your intent in some situations.
Correct.
Just like you can't go into a movie theater and yell fire.
Correct.
You know, you can't yell fire in a movie theater. So there are certain ways that a person should say things. There's a certain time then people should say things. Now, we are going, like I said, the second half of this hour, we're going to talk about, so what do you do with a person who has the intent to be malicious in their wording? What do you do? How do we stop people from coming and believing they're entitled to say whatever they want? Oh man, I had a conversation one time where I had to tell a person, you do understand your input wasn't asked for.
Hmm.
Now, here's something a lot of people have a problem with, and we're about to step on some toes. because we have some very opinionated people. Just because you have an opinion doesn't mean you have the right to always give it.
Correct. Correct.
You know what I mean? If I have an opinion about Joe's house, it ain't always I don't have the right to say what I want and give my opinion. See, people don't realize that, and they don't understand that. They don't understand how, well, I have an opinion. I can express my opinion. Not always. Not always. And if you think I'm kidding, let the Jehovah's Witness knock on your door at 7 o'clock on a Saturday morning after you just got in at 2 o'clock.
Right.
Whatever they have to say, do they have the right to say it? Not to you, they don't.
That's right.
Not at that point.
You're correct.
You understand? Just because you have an opinion doesn't mean you always have the right to give it. And that is so troubling for so many people.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, because just because they feel they've got something to say, they should be able to say it. Depends on the situation.
Correct. Correct. Because guess what? People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, that's profound. That is profound because that goes back to the number one, the first point that we made. Intent. My grandmother could have came to me and said, now listen, that's 2 pieces of chicken you just had. Are you still hungry? Grandma asking you, are you still hungry? No. Then why are you getting another piece?
Right.
Okay. Now, she just told me I didn't need another piece of chicken. My uncles, on the other hand, those say, oh, there you go again. He going back in. Hide the chicken. You know, they was going to make a big scene. They were going to make sure everybody knew. They were going to laugh about it. It's the way it was done. Okay? Now, let's talk about how do we deal with this. Brother Dupree, I'm about to share something with you and the people that's listening to this podcast that I'm writing. I'm writing it in the book. And this particular chapter of the book is my way of explaining how to deal with people who criticize with malicious intent. Okay, Brother Dupree, the chapter is entitled, Are You a Diamond or Are You a Cubic Zirconia?
Ooh, are you real or are you fake?
Are you real or are you fake?
Oh my God, let
Now,
go.
There's
Let
a
go.
couple of things you need to understand. Okay? Number one, a diamond, if you are truly a diamond, the only thing on this planet that can handle a diamond is a diamond cutter.
Mm,
And you can't go to the store and buy one of those. Those are given out by the federal government because a diamond cutter is the tip of it is made out of a diamond.
right.
So in other words, if you take a diamond, oh, this is good. You got to listen. If you take a diamond and you put it on the table and you take a hammer and you try to smash that, all it's going to do is shoot across the room somewhere. And when you pick it up, it will not have a scratch on it.
Mm,
But if you take a cubic zirconia and you put it on the table and you smash it with that hammer, guess what you got?
mm-hmm.
Cubic dust.
Right.
You have cubic dust. So let's look at it from this perspective. If you are a diamond and someone or something in your life is impacting you, then that must be a diamond cutter. It must be, because that's the only thing that can really impact you.
Right. Right.
You understand? It ain't a drill. It ain't a hammer. It must be a diamond cutter. if it's not a diamond cutter, then it should not be affecting you and impacting you the way that it does. This is something we have to think about and take into account. Wait a minute, let me stop and think. I'm feeling overwhelmed because this person that don't love me the way I deserve to be loved, don't love me the way I deserve to be loved. So who in lies has the problem? The diamond or this other thing? So
That's
we're talking about how to handle malicious intent from outside variables. I look at me now, and I know I'm sure enough diamond, because this stuff that bounced off of me that back in the day, I would have had to second guess. Now I'm like, I ain't letting that bother me. I'm not going to let that bother me. You have to look at what you allow to impact you in your life.
Right.
And ask yourself, is this a diamond cutter? Because there's going to be certain things in our lives that are diamond cutters. Number one,
right.
Children, our offspring.
Right, correct.
Those jokers can impact us with the smallest little thing. They can put a big old scratch on us as a diamond. That's our diamond cutters.
Correct.
But when you start looking at your job, I saw a post from, I don't know who it was, somebody on social media, one of the celebrities, said they have a 72-hour rule. And he said, what I mean by that is, I don't let nothing impact me that if it wasn't there within 72 hours, my life wouldn't be any different.
Come on.
He said, show you what I mean. If I lose this job, within 72 hours, they will have replaced me.
Correct.
I was like, wow, the 72 rule. That's not bad. And within 72 hours, they would have found somebody else to do the same job. So we have to start looking at the things that are causing us the most anxiety, the things that's causing us depression, the things that's causing us stress. And ask yourself, are these things diamond cutters in my life? If they're not, I cannot allow them to impact me as a diamond. All right. You ready for I thought about this when I was thinking about telling you this chapter that I'm writing, Brother Dupree. You're going to like this part. You ready?
Give it to me.
If you take a diamond, okay, and we're going to make a ring, and this diamond is $10,000 right here, and we put that diamond in the top of this ring, and then you surround that diamond with 50 cubic zirconia. Okay? How much did that diamond cost? $10,000, didn't it?
Correct.
Did the value of that diamond change because you surrounded it with cubic zirconia?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It's still what? 10
it's
grand.
Still a diamond. It's still a 10 grand diamond.
It's still a 10. So if you are truly a diamond and you are surrounded by cubic zirconias,
that's good. That's good. Come on with it.
How can you allow your value
to decrease? Because of the company you keep.
Because of who you around.
Right. Because you still who you are.
You still a $10,000 diamond. But what we have a tendency to do is allow our values, self-value, to be minimized, marginalized because of what's around us.
You know, and that's interesting. It's interesting that you say that because I was just, it was beautiful because today I was in a situation where I actually had a person say something quite similar. They said, when you are around individuals of bad influence and you are of good influence, one or two things is going to happen. Either they're going to convince you to be more like them, or you're going to convince them to be more like you.
That's right. And I try to tell folks that in so many areas of our lives, you can look at a good player. Let's take basketball. You have some dynamic players on some crappy teams.
Correct.
Are those players no longer dynamic?
Mm.
No. They still all-stars.
Correct.
They ain't champions because they haven't won a championship in a team sport. But every accolade they could achieve individually, they have.
Correct.
So another way of dealing with people whose intent is malicious is ask yourself, why is this person putting so much effort into trying to change my thermostat, change my feelings?
Correct.
Change my temperature, my climate. Why? That's a lot of effort. It was said over and over and over again to young people around this, and I just had this conversation the other day. If voting was not so important, why would so much effort be put into trying to keep you from voting?
Correct.
I don't know too many people who ever broke into an empty house.
Never.
You know what I mean? If you're going to burglarize something, you're going to burglarize something where there's something of value.
Correct.
If they're doing all of this stuff to make you feel bad, to change the way you see yourself, or to change the way your outlook on something is, to where they have to be malicious intent in their intent, why? I love people who come to me and say, hey, man, I hate to tell you this, then don't. That's what I always say, then don't. I don't even let them get it out. If you hate to tell me, then don't tell me.
Then don't tell me, right? I don't need to know.
Be the one to tell you this, then don't.
Right.
Keep it to yourself.
Correct.
Because I don't believe you. I do not believe you hate to tell me what you're about to tell me.
Correct.
I believe you couldn't wait to tell me. So we are sitting here today and we're looking at things that shouldn't, how to resolve the feelings we have when people are giving us criticism that's malicious in its intent. And the first thing and the only thing is that it starts with self, our view of self. Brother Dupree, people can say what they want about me. Man, I walk around smiling every day.
That's the point.
Literally. I mean, literally every day. And
you know the old saying, never let them see you sweat.
Never let. And my thing is, sometimes things ain't going the best.
Correct.
But to me, that's not a diamond cutter.
Correct.
I got my health. You know what I mean? My loved ones are okay.
Correct.
You know, that's that. So I look at certain things and say, like, that ain't gonna change my climate. Not today.
Right.
You know, so now as a diamond, I walk around every day and I ask myself, is this person cubic or is it a diamond?
Right.
Because let me tell you something. And here's the third part. You remember we talked about the first thing is nothing can impact a diamond but a diamond cutter.
Correct.
Number 2, the value of a diamond
doesn't change if it's surrounded by other stones that are not diamonds.
That's right. Here's the third one. You ready?
Come on, number 3, let's go.
One diamond ain't threatened by another one.
Ooh, because I'm on shine in my own way.
I got my own value.
Right.
One diamond is not threatened by another diamond.
You know, so that's some real talk.
When you put a $10,000 diamond next to a $5,000 diamond, that $5,000 diamond don't feel like it's not a diamond.
Right. It's still a diamond.
It's still a diamond. It's not as big of a diamond. It's not, but it does not worry about that.
Right.
I am what I am. I am a $5,000 diamond.
Right. And somebody
Huh.
gonna love all $5,000 worth of my
Somebody can't
shine.
wait to get me.
Right.
Somebody can't wait to get me. So as we sit here and we start talking about coping and dealing and developing skills necessary to shake off what the world is bringing at us, the first thing we got to understand is we diamonds.
Correct.
And if you're not, you better go back and put yourself into coal and pressurize and become a diamond.
Correct. But you said something very key that I hope folks were listening about. Diamonds are created under pressure.
Under pressure.
So understand this. Cubic zirconia is not made under pressure.
No, sir.
It will actually break under pressure.
Absolutely.
A diamond will be created under pressure.
That's
So
right.
find it not strange if you're dealing with a little pressure in your life. You know, because watch this. An old African proverb says, calm seas don't produce good shipment. So, you know, we gotta be real about it. Life ain't always gonna be easy. You know what makes me laugh right now, and I'm just gonna shift this for a minute. And once again, family, go to the website, the100blk.com. Check out what we got going on the website. Definitely check out my brother at positivechoicescounseling.org. But you know, right now, you hear everybody talking about inflation, cost of living. Now, these are the same people, you know, and not to get on some folk, but the same folk that a few months ago was Shatta. Oh, Hadababa. Oh, wait a minute. God ain't changed.
Nope.
Situations and circumstances. And guess what? If he provided then, he can provide now. So here's what really gets me. I'm waiting for a lot of folks that were talking all that noise when gas was $1 to talk that same noise right now to say, look, man, I ain't worried about whatever the price of gas is.
The same God that when gas was $1 is the same God that we had when it's $5.
Right. So if he provided then, he'll provide right now. So why don't you talk that? See, that's why it's hard for some folk to understand there's a big difference between religion and spirituality. Absolutely. A lot of you are religious. And because you are religious, the waves and the winds of religion change constantly. But a spiritual person is always constant because a spiritual person knows the good, the bad, the ugly. Whoever they worship is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. Back to you, my brother, in regular scheduled programming.
Back on that, I had a conversation with a person the other day, and we were talking about the life of a clergyman and how they do this, they don't do that, and the comment was made, they're still human, they're still a man, they're still a woman. We are still those individuals who struggle with things of the world.
Right.
And when we start to see individuals as not human, that's when we find ourselves being let down.
Correct. When you put a cape, when you put you know, let's really get, because we're talking about diamonds. See, correct. The worst thing you can do is give diamond value to a stone that's not a diamond. See, that's the worst thing you can do. All of a sudden put diamond status on something that's not a diamond. Right now on social media, it shows at a basketball game where a brother walks up with a diamond tester and he tests the diamond of the young lady at the game, and it comes back that it ain't a diamond. It ain't a diamond. And she goes, wait 1 minute. Yeah. And she throws it at the man that gave it to her, because you ain't going to have me here thinking that I got a diamond when it ain't a diamond. See, we got to stop putting diamond value on stuff that ain't diamonds.
See, now wait, take that same situation. So now you don't want to marry the brother?
Right.
You see, because of the value of the ring, your love changed.
Right. Hold it. Yeah. So was it about the LOVE or was it about the things?
Or the RING.
Right. Right.
What was it about?
So, and it's just like many of us, we get disappointed daily because we put Superman and Superwoman capes on people who can't bear what we put on them. They're not Superman or Superwoman. They do what they do, but they're not superhuman. We got to put people in their proper perspective and understand that in life, no matter how much you love a person, no matter how much you hold them in admiration, no matter how what a pedestal of esteem you put them on, everybody lets everybody down at some time.
I mean, again, we have to start looking at expectations. We did a whole podcast about expectations.
Right.
The good relationships are where expectations are being met. The expectations that struggle, the relationships that struggle are the ones where expectations are falling short.
Right.
In the same thing, I don't think I could have worded it better myself, Brother Dupree. We are putting diamond status on cubic zirconias.
Right.
You can get dressed up in the prettiest of makeup and the finest of suits and look and shine like a diamond, like the song say.
Oh.
But at the end of the day, the value that you possess will come out.
Right. Because watch this. I can dress you up in Louis, Gucci. I can put you in a Lamborghini, Bentley, or Rolls Royce. But if you haven't broke that poverty mentality or that hood mentality, just because you roll up in a Rolls Royce with Louis and Gucci on, don't mean that you ain't ratchet. Until you break your ratchet mentality, hold it. I can put lipstick on a pig. It don't change that it ain't a pig. Now it's just a pig with lipstick on it. Period. Back to regularly scheduled programming.
Let me my contribution to that. My contribution is you can't make a housewife out of someone with girlfriend mentality. How about that? I clean that up real well.
Okay. Yeah, yes, sir.
You can't make a husband out of a boyfriend mentality.
Right.
At some point, you have to be wife material. You have to be husband material.
Come on.
Just because you look good and you dress good don't make you wife material. Right. It definitely don't make you husband material.
Right.
We have to wonder, is it, and that's where time, and like we started talking about in the beginning, intent, verbiage, all of that stuff determines whether it's actually cubic or diamond. Now, I've met some people who, if you put all of their outfits on, I'm talking about the shirt, the pants, the shoes, it ain't worth $6. And I mean it. They paid $2 for the shoes, 50 cents for the shirt, $1 for the pants, But under those clothes, it's at least a $25,000 diamond. The character, the substance, the actual moral makeup is unbelievable. Then I've been around individuals that need to be on the cover of a magazine.
Come on.
And they work the toy ring you get out of the bubblegum machine.
Wait a minute. Hold on. As one person told me, you walked in the room, you caught everybody's attention until you opened up your mouth.
Then you open your mouth.
Oh.
Or they got a glimpse into your character.
Right.
Once they look at your character, and that's, thank God, we got to thank God for that part of, just because you've been around cubic doesn't change the value of the diamond.
Correct.
So we really touched upon so many different ways of coping with people who have malicious intent. Their opinions are not given to better you. Their opinions are given to hurt you.
Correct.
Their criticism is not given to make improvements, it's given to tear you down.
Correct.
So what you have to start to say is, well, and this is where I am in my life. You know what I say? I don't expect much from diamonds anymore. I mean, from cubics anymore.
Right.
I used to say, woo, yeah, that's a pretty, but and then the characters revealed, and then that's a cubic. Okay.
Right. The flaws.
Yeah, that's it. Now keep in mind, diamonds are not flawless.
Right. We all have flaws, and we all have
diamonds are not flawless, because as a matter of fact, that's how they rate it. Diamonds are rated by the number and the severity of the flaw.
Right. The clarity,
the
flaws. Right. They're not flawless. However, watch this. They still have flaws, but they're still diamonds. Now, the difference between a diamond with flaws and a cubic zirconia is the following. Like you said, when the real test comes, we know what's a diamond and we know what's not a diamond.
What's not a diamond.
And then we know the value, because the value of something that's real is definitely different than the value of something that's fake. And let me laugh about this. And somebody right now is probably going to giggle when I say this. That's just like individuals who buy knockoff items.
Correct.
If I can't buy the real Louis or Gucci, I'm not going to buy something that look Louis or Gucci that really ain't Louis or Gucci.
Mm-hmm. Here's my thing. I always tell people, man, those shoes are nice. These were $6. Well, ain't nobody know till you say so.
Right.
I said they was nice.
Right.
And since you paid $6 for them, they twice as nice.
Right.
That's where I see it.
Right.
But we have people. Here's the thing, Brother Dupree. Let's say you came up to me and you had on some Louis shoes. And I say, man, I like those, Joe. These ain't real. These knockoffs. Nah. To me, I can't speak for nobody else. I'm still looking and say, oh, those kind of nice.
But they're nice. They're nice.
You know what I mean?
They're not real, but they're nice.
I like them. They're kind of nice.
Right.
So you mean to tell me you got some shoes that got Louis all over them, but they ain't, and they're nice, and you got your money in your pocket? But I'm a different dude.
Okay, now watch this though, Brother Brown, because I just want to bring this up. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing about it though, and I truly believe this: you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
They may appear to be nice,
mm-hmm.
but the material they made out of may not weather the elements like the ones.
You only can wear them twice.
Right, hold it. They might look nice, and they might make you say, ooh wee. Mm-hmm. And you might see me that one time, or you might see me twice with them. But they may not be able to withstand the elements, because guess what? Pleather and leather respond differently to the elements.
The water do a lot different.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I understand.
Yes, sir. See, I found that out with vehicles. Once upon a time, a long time ago, when I owned a luxury vehicle, and I say it now, I make people laugh about this right now. I owned a luxury vehicle, an actual luxury vehicle. And people say, well, what qualifies it to be a luxury vehicle? Well, a lot of people don't know. Luxury vehicles cost X amount of dollars, and there's not a luxury vehicle on this planet that burns regular gas.
That's
so
right.
if you put an 87 in the tank,
you'll know instantly.
You're not in a luxury vehicle. Yeah. And somebody might want to question me on that, but I'm telling you what I know.
I'll tell you. I got a 2006 that ain't never had nothing but 93 in it.
Right. Okay. So watch this. I had one that had 93 in it, and it had leather in it. And I'm telling you, that leather was different than I went from a luxury vehicle to a Ford. Now I have a very nice Ford. I have an upper echelon Ford that has leather in it. But that leather in my Ford still ain't as nice as my leather that was in that high echelon vehicle. It's like I tell people, It's a difference when you sit. If you ever have the opportunity to sit in a Bentley, the leather in a Bentley is different than,
Preach.
hold it. The leather in a Bentley is totally different than the leather in a Ford, a Cadillac, a Corvette. I don't care. I can name a whole bunch of
Now,
vehicles that I promise you, when you sit in that Bentley in that leather, you're going to be like, wait a minute.
mhm.
What kind of leather is this?
Yeah. Now you must have read, but we brothers, so you know that's my dream car. If I ever money was no object, I want the Bentley convertible coupe.
You
And
want
you're right.
the flying bee. You want the
Yes,
flying bee.
exactly. So I know exactly what you're talking about. So yeah, there is a big difference. That is the same difference in being a diamond and being a cubic zirconia.
Right. Right.
So as we sit here and we start to look at where we started this podcast from a while ago, we're looking at how do you determine, let's recap real quick. How do you determine whether something is criticism that is intended to make improvement or criticism that's intended to be malicious? We know you have to look at the intent. You look at the terms that was used, the wording, and then you look at the time that it was actually said. I've had, and I got to tell you this, and I know we said this, but this is really still on my mind. We were out having a couple of drinks a few weeks ago, me and my friends, and we were sitting at a table next to these two ladies, and this guy kept coming up to the table, and he was trying to shoot his shot, as they say.
Correct.
And later on in the evening, he came and he put a drink on the table, and he told one of the women, he said, "Go drink this here, because the more you drink, the better you're gonna feel you look." And and now we trying not to pay attention to what's going on at the table, but when we heard him, I said, "Did that brother think that was a compliment?" He said, "Drink this, because the more you drink, the better you're gonna feel you look." And I couldn't do nothing but laugh. I put my head down and I was just laughing. And she kind of looked at the drink and looked at him walk away. And I was like, this brother really thought he was giving a compliment.
He was macking and attacking.
Yeah, he thought he was macking. So now, was his intent malicious? I don't know, as much as I just think he was a cubic zirconia.
Correct.
But his timing and the where it happened and how he delivered it was just really just inappropriate.
Right. Well, some people don't have the wherewithal.
But they don't have that tact.
Hold it.
Old people say they don't have that tact.
Hold it. That's just like, I've come to the place, and a friend of mine laughs at me about this all the time. I've come to the place with whatever degrees are hanging on the wall, that if you say a word that I've never heard before, I don't all of a sudden act like I know what you're talking about.
Right.
I may on the cool ask you, I've never heard that word before. What does that act? Yeah. Right. What does that mean? I was sitting down, and for the longest, I used to have a guy that used some very, very high echelon word with no ambiguity. Yeah. I used to be like, "Excuse me, my brother, I need to understand." And I started kind of get my phone and glancing, ambiguity, to the dictionary app. Oh, okay. So this is what it means. So sometimes I tell people, make sure that you match the vocabulary that you're shooting out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if you're not, just be real. Be you. And, I think basically, if folks don't get nothing from the diamond and the cubic zirconia, be you. If you're a cubic zirconia, be happy that you're a cubic zirconia.
That's it.
Yeah. Definitely say to yourself that you might can do some things to become diamond status. Correct. But be happy where you're at, because the last thing you need is to portray that you're a diamond and you're not, because then if you get put under the diamond test, you're not going to pass.
Yeah. And I think that when I'm writing this example, I am not tearing down cubic zirconia. I'm not. What I'm actually doing is showing that everywhere there is a place for everything. Now again, it's me. And it doesn't matter what I think in certain situations. I have a problem with people who spending $5,000-$10,000 for jewelry for babies.
Right.
You know, you got a 1.5-year-old with a $3,000 ankle bracelet on.
Now look. Now hold on.
If that's
now,
your money,
right.
you want,
Now,
just think that money would have been better in a college fund earning interest. So when that
right.
baby is 20, she got $100,000.
Right. Now let me say this. In today's, I measure you by TikTok, YouTube, how you look, what you drive. I get it. But once again, really, I hope some people really get, because now it just hit me. And it's crazy that it's hitting me at the end of the show. I hope y'all really get what we're saying. Don't appear to be what you're not. And the real test comes. The test, are you who you say you are? Because you won't pass the test. Watch this. I don't care how good looking a cubic zirconia ring is. When the diamond cutter comes, the diamond cutter gonna know this ain't a diamond. When the diamond tester comes, the diamond tester gonna know this not a diamond. So regardless of how many people you done fooled, there's gonna come a person who you can't fool.
Mm-hmm.
And normally the person you can't fool is the person who may put more value on what you have than what it's worth. Because that person might say, I've been looking for a diamond like this, and I'm willing to pay a little bit more for it because I can't find it, and you got it. But if I test it and it ain't what you say it is, Houston, we have a problem.
We have a problem. I think as we wrap up, Brother Dupree, one of the first things that I want to say is that when we do this podcast and the things that we're talking about, in no way, shape, or form are we being judgmental. Everyone has the right to live whatever life they choose. But when we put this podcast together, we said we was going to shoot from the hip.
Right, correct.
We was going to put stuff out there for people that was going to like it, and some of the stuff they wasn't going to like. At the end of the day, our intent is not malicious. Our intent is to inform and to build skills within our community.
Good. That's it, fam. We are here to give you information, inspiration, and motivation to be the best you in 22.
That's right. I like that, bro. We got to put that on t-shirts. I like that.
So, family, once again, it's not about how much we know, because people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And we care. We take time out every Wednesday to be consistent and to let individuals know that we are here for you. Let me once again throw this up as we come to the end, where you'll know if you have right now any mental health issues, or know somebody who has some mental health issues, or know somebody who needs some counseling. And understand this, counseling falls under mental health. Sometimes people just need people to talk to. They need people who can give them the perspective that maybe they can look at it a little differently. They have a clear understanding that either they made the right choice, or they need to rethink their choice before they make a choice that might be a permanent choice. And they made that permanent choice off of some circumstantial, just fly the wind information. Go to positivechoicescounseling.org. You'll find everything, all age groups. They do everything from children all the way to grown adults. They do all type of counseling. They do telemed, all of that. Definitely go there and check them out. Go to our website if you want to see any of the past podcasts at the100blk.com. You'll go there. You'll see everything that we have on the website. We have a lot of information. We have other shows we do, other things we do. We're here to give the information to our people the way we need it from our perspective. So with that being said, Brother Edward, close me out, my friend.
Hey man, listen. We want everybody that watch these podcasts to take something away that they can add to their life to make them a better person. That's all we do. The information is there. Utilize it. We look forward to seeing y'all again next week. Until then, peace.
Hey, we up out of here, family. Listen, we thank you for tuning in. Once again, go to positivechoicescounseling.org. We'll be back next Wednesday with more Wellness Wednesday, because a healthy you is a better you, and your mental health matters. We up out of here. Be blessed. Have a good one. Until the next time, we out. Peace.